like it. Okay, joining us now, Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino, who's a candidate for governor of New York State for the Republican and Conservative parties. Good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
All right, so tell us what that was about.
Good at that.
You know, that was part of Legislative Correspondence Association dinner in Albany. So it's like a comedy show.
Right.
And we did an 8-minute video, my wife and I, who was not in that clip, but she was in her curlers, and it was a riot. It's on Facebook, my Facebook page, if people want to see the whole thing.
I'm going to watch.
Unlike the ones that we do in Washington, that was actually funny. Mark, let's talk politics.
So you're running against Andrew Cuomo. It's a Democratic state. You're a Republican.
Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. That's a good way to start.
This state has had Republican governors.
Yes.
We had George Pataki was the governor. What is it about the Republican message, not you versus Andrew Cuomo, the Republican message where you think you're more in line with the people of New York than Andrew Cuomo?
Well, it's the message that I'm giving, and it's a simple question, Mark. It's, as a state under this governor, are we winning or are we losing? Period. Real simple question for the voters. And I say we're losing, and losing badly as a state, because in all the important categories, we are dead last 50th in the United States compared to all the other states.
Like what categories?
Highest in taxes, not even close. Highest electric rates. We spend the most on education. We're in the bottom half of the worst business climate, the worst economic outlook, worst place to retire, worst place to make a living.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and here's the worst.
Sounds pretty bad.
But it is bad, and here's the worst. 400,000 New Yorkers have thrown in the towel and left this state in just the last 3 years. So that should tell you that they're chasing those jobs.
But is that part of a function of just being the largest city in this country? When you say all of those things, is it state, the largest, I mean the largest, second most populated state. Wouldn't you have seen those numbers over the last 20, 30 years across the board?
No, I mean, why are we dead last in the country in taxes? It's because they made a concerted effort to make us dead last in the country. And so, no matter what...
You mean we have the highest, New York has the highest taxes.
Combine it all, it's the worst.
So you
does that surprise you at all, though? I mean,
no, well, it doesn't surprise me, but it shouldn't surprise New York State that they continue to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a stunning thing. It's quite simple. There's a reason why Texas is growing as many jobs as it's growing. And you just sit here and you wonder, how long are states like New York State and Connecticut and Rhode Island going to look at this ever-growing tax burden that they place on small business owners? And I don't understand. So what can you do to turn that around if you're governor?
Well, you know, it's hard for people on this island here, Manhattan, to understand, because Manhattan's doing well, and it probably always will be. It's very resilient. But you go around the Hudson Valley or Long Island or upstate New York, slow growth at best, and really upstate New York is awful. I mean, it's tumbleweeds economically, and the governor has done nothing to help it. And so people continue to leave and chase those jobs to low-tax states or states where it's easy to retire or start a business. It's not going to happen in New York with these
You know, Donnie, we lived in upstate. My parents and I lived in upstate New York. And I remember my dad, when he left and we moved down to Florida, where our family was, he was, for 6 months, just shocked. I don't have to pay taxes on this. I don't have to pay taxes on that. The tax burden, the difference between New York State and Florida, or New York State and Texas, or New York State.
What about increasing the minimum wage?
I mean, it's
I'm for it in a slight way, but look, here's what I say. You know, New York, living in New York has become like a prison sentence. You know, what are you talking about? Because here's all I hear all over the state. 2 more years, the kids go to college, and we're out of here. You know, I retire in a couple years, and we're gone. We're selling the house. We're going to the Carolinas. We're going to Florida. We're going to Texas. That's all you hear, and it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, look,
a function of weather, though? I mean,
no, come on, it's always been great there. It's always been nice weather there.
People do tend to leave at that point.
No, they used to go for vacations.
Come on, man.
They used to go for vacations, Donnie. Now they're going to live there.
You're so rich that it doesn't impact you. But you have got to admit, the tax structure in the state is insanity.
It is.
As somebody who's paying close to 60 cents on the dollar, yes.
60 cents. And that's what people outside of New York State don't understand. You take your salary, whatever it is, and you take, what, 60 cents off of it?
I'm 58 cents on the dollar paying.
You pay taxes 58 cents on the dollar, goes to the government in New York State or D.C. It's insanity.
Rob Astorino, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I love the video.
We want to see the whole clip. Good to see you again.
I want to hear more about the minimum wage. We'll be right back.